Welcome to the warm-up exercise for the Why Am I podcast called The Fantasy Restaurant. In here, my guests get to pick their favorite drink, appetizer, main, side, and dessert. Quite literally, anything goes. So, Maysey and Jen have differing meals, but seems like they fit together surprisingly well. Both sound amazing, but Macy's honey paw order is the real star of the show, right? It was my favorite thing. I'm not saying Maysey is my favorite, Jen. I'm just saying she picked a great dessert. Anyway, I hope you all enjoy this meal with Maysey and Jen. So I've got the two faces behind loose ends. I've got Maysey and Jen, and thank you for joining me in the Fantasy Restaurant today.
Thank you for having us. This place is great.
It's awesome.
There you go. So we started with Maysey and then Jen, but I am your host. I am Greg, so I will be serving your meal today. This is the Fantasy Restaurant. If you're slightly unfamiliar, it basically equates to you get to pick any meal that you ever had or never have had. So this could be something from your childhood, something your mom made, your grandma makes. Maybe this is something you make every week, or maybe it's from your favorite restaurant or your favorite fantasy novel or movie. It has no rhyme or reason. It only has to make sense to you guys. And since you guys are apparently eating together in the restaurant today, I'm assuming there's going to be some collaboration, maybe some fighting, hopefully some food fighting. I'm not serious, but I mean, whichever direction you'd like to go. So generally we start at the start with drinks. So what are you guys going to have to drink?
Oh, well, what's on the menu today, Greg?
The fun thing is absolutely anything you can imagine is on the menu.
Really? Okay. I'm going to have a double IPA, please.
Double IPA.
I would like an Arnold Palmer, please. Lemonade and iced tea, not too sweet.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that. I'm from the South, so a lot of people down here put lemon in there. I mean, it's not lemonade, but they put lemon in their tea, so it's close enough.
It's a little bit, yeah.
Because lemonade brings the sweetness, right?
Yeah. So it's like tea with lemon. Yeah, it's a mix. I don't know. I guess it's like a sweet tea, but not quite as sweet as sweet tea.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm way down in the South, so to me, sweet tea means you put the spoon in it and it stands up on its own. Like,
yes,
yeah,
that's a little too much for me. But yes.
Excellent. All right.
And these in a cup. Yes.
Easy start. All right, so let's move on to honestly, my favorite part of the dessert could be my favorite part. One of my favorite parts of the meal is the appetizer portion, right? I feel most adventurous, and I'm curious, are you feeling adventurous today? What are you going to get as an appetizer?
Jen, you go. I have to think. This is what I do at the table, too, if I haven't made up my mind. I have the other person go first.
So I always like a good charcuterie, like meat and cheese, some veggies. I like a little picky plate kind of thing.
Picky plate. That's what it's going to be called from now on on the menu. The picky plate.
Like you're hungry and you can't wait, but you shouldn't eat all the bread. So there should be like a little bit of cheese. There should be some veggies, so you can feel a little bit good about the whole thing. But definitely slabs of meat somewhere, like salami.
You know what? That's dangerous for me because I tend to overindulge when it comes to like.
I mean. The thing about it is they're usually too expensive to overindulge. There's like a couple of pieces of everything, so you can get a taste of everything.
I gotcha. Well, has that sparked your imagination, Maysey? What do you thinking?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have I'll probably eat some of hers, and then also probably throw in like some hot olives, or like a nice artichoke dip if we're talking about. I mean, but I'm also already know what I'm gonna order for an entree, and I don't know if they need to go together. But I'm going straight for like the cheesy artichoke dip.
Cheesy artichoke dip. What comes with your artichoke dip? Is that like tortilla chips?
Usually like
pita chips.
Yeah, probably like a pita chip. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you? Did you already say?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm your waiter. I don't customarily get to eat. Do I get to sit and eat?
Don't you have a favorite?
I mean, Where I come from, the waiters don't usually sit down and eat with you. Usually they do that in the kitchen before they bring your food to you. Then, they take a couple of bites just to make sure it's good.
Okay.
But that's the fun of it, is it's an imaginary one. So we're going to be eating together. What do you want?
What do I want? There's this place in Memphis called the Blue Monkey, and they do buffalo chicken egg rolls. So it's like a hot wing and an egg roll.
Oh, yum, yum. Yum,
They
yum,
are
yum.
So there was a
delicious.
cheesesteak dumpling here somewhere that's actually pretty tasty. It's got like a Philly cheesesteak, but it's inside a dumpling, like a soup dumpling.
Bro, that sounds so
Good.
good. I'm writing that down, but we're gonna eat that in the back. Cheesesteak
There's a
dumpling.
place called the Dump Truck in Portland, Oregon. That's got, well, I don't know if they exist anymore. It was pre-pandemic, but
The dump truck.
they had all the dumplings you could want, and some of them were cheesesteak filled.
Oh, I can dig it. All right. Well, we're hitting that weird little interstitial period between the appetizer and the mains. I like to call the bread/soup/salad portion. You guys interested in any of that? All of that? Yes, no.
Yeah, I'll go there. Sure.
Okay. All right. Well, what are you gonna get?
Sure. I'll get the salad. If there's a good salad, I'll do it. Like something with maybe a smoked chicken on it and avocados and something like kind of cold in between the two hot things.
Smoked chicken, avocado.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
I can always go for a beet salad with some cheese on it, like what kind of cheese goes with beet? I've rediscovered halloumi cheese, which is a cheese you can fry, and it holds up under frying. So beet salad with some halloumi, maybe some hazelnut on top of it.
All right. So, Macy, what kind of dressing are you putting on your smoked chicken and avocado salad?
I would need to hear the options.
Oh my gosh. Okay. You want me to invent some options? I see. My favorite is, and I know it doesn't fit this, but I love a Caesar dressing. Because it's like really bold.
Delicious.
I like it to be a little garlicky. Or there's like a balsamic vinaigrette. Those are delicious. We have those in the back. We have ranch variations.
Going with you did it right the first time. I'm going to go with your Caesar because there's Parmesan in that. That's delicious, and garlic. Yeah. We'll go with that.
Are you a big, chunky crouton kind of gal?
No, thanks. But Jen can have the croutons.
I'll have them on the side. That's delicious. We at my house we do a chicken Caesar salad, and we have to buy a what Jake calls the decoy box of croutons, because those are the croutons that get eaten before the salad gets made.
The decoy ones. Okay. So we'll have some decoy croutons. We'll just have those at the table just for sampling. We'll have a little bowl of them. Okay.
That sounds delicious.
Any super bread, any of that, or not? Okay.
Yeah.
I can't do that. It's too much.
I'm already
Well, also, I mean, you could say that in the fantasy restaurant you don't get full. I mean, that could always, because I've had people say that in the fantasy restaurant you don't get drunk. So
it's in that case, can you bring me another double IPA
with your salad? Okay.
And I would like there's a white bean smoked pork soup that I've had recently that was delicious. If I'm not gonna get full, I might as well eat all the things I like.
Yeah, for sure. White bean smoked pork soup.
It's really good. Has some kale in it because I live in Seattle.
As long as you can't taste it, right?
I mean, it's there. It gives it texture.
It's fine. That's fine. As long as it's just, it's at the party. It's not what the party's about. I get it.
Yeah.
Somebody recently said I was talking about gout, and they were like, "You can't get gout. You eat vegetables." And I was like, "I don't think that's how gout works."
It never works.
Yeah, it's like saying you can't get into a car accident. You wear your seatbelt, of course.
Or yeah, it was.
I don't think that's how those rules work. All right, so let's get to the main event here, potentially main event. What are we doing for our main dish?
Yeah, I know.
Where are you getting?
I mean, I'm from Maine, so I'm bringing the lobster roll to the table right now.
Ooh.
The best lobster roll we have in Portland, in my opinion, and I know there's like a lot of opinions about this, but there's a restaurant here that's known as the best place to get a lobster roll. Let me, again, everybody disagrees, but it's a homemade bun. It has a brown butter, tossed in brown butter lobster tail meat, and that's it. It's simple. It's just like a tossed in brown butter, and it has chives on top, and it is perfect.
You're gonna have to describe to me what brown butter is. I have no idea.
You basically cook the butter, and actually they cook the butter with also powdered milk, which I learned, and until it turns golden brown, like it gets brown, and then it just
got like a nutty
warmer flavor to it. It's yummy.
I like that.
It's not that hard to do.
Mm-mm.
You can put brown butter on everything.
Yeah. You can make gnocchis with Brussels sprouts that way.
Everything can go be that way.
You put a little honey in it, and it bubbles up and makes it brown. It's yummy.
Yeah.
Well, if you're gonna be all Maine specific, it is king salmon season here in Seattle, Washington. So we could put some king salmon, what we like to call salt and pepper salmon, where you don't do anything but just put some salt and pepper on it, and put it on the grill. And there you have it with some fresh roasted vegetables. And maybe some kind of, I do roasted potatoes too.
So roasted potatoes. So that's what you're getting as your side. So normally, well, I mean, why not put them together? So roasted potatoes as our vegetables. And Macy, what's your side? What do you put with them?
I would go with like a street corn on the cob.
Ooh, that's yummy. That would be good. Would you do cajata? Like you put the cheese on it with the
that's the whole point. Yeah.
Cheese heavily focused on cheese.
Usually when we do street corn down here, it's kind of Mexican style. So a lot of times you'll see them take the cob and they'll dip it in liquid butter, and then they'll coat it in like oftentimes Parmesan cheese. Then put a little little cayenne on it or something like that. Spice it up a bit. So we're talking.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. So
if we're talking about any kind of sides, I'm gonna get broccoli rabe that's been sautéed in garlic.
I have no idea what broccoli rabe is. You're gonna have to describe that to me.
Okay. It's like if broccoli was a leafy vegetable, but also had a little bit of broccoli on it. It's not broccolini. Like you've seen broccolini, and it's like thin broccoli. It's like baby broccoli. Broccoli rabe is like a bitter leafy thing with.
So good.
It is a vegetable.
You should go find some of that Italian.
Yeah, broccoli rabe. Yeah, if they had broccoli rabe, they'll definitely have escarole, which does the same thing without the little black broccoli flowers, but has a little bit of bitter in it.
When you say broccoli rabe, I'm thinking of like a guy who works for the Teamsters from Jersey.
Yeah, so broccoli rabe.
Broccoli rabe. You got broccoli rabe. You got Joel, Tony. You got, there's lots of people all over the place.
Okay. Well, it sounds like a decent meal, but this is the important piece, whether we can be friends or not. What are you going to put as your dessert?
Whether or not we give you friends.
Correct. This is make or break time.
And I like almost every kind of dessert that exists.
Okay. We are friends then, yeah.
I'd be hard pressed on a bad dessert.
No, I mean, I can make anything work, but I do like a bread pudding with like a caramel on it and some kind of ice cream.
Okay. All right, I'm going to tell you my favorite dessert in town. And it happens to be right next door to the place that has the most amazing lobster roll. And it's owned by the same folks, but it's a different restaurant and they share a kitchen. And it is a caramelized honey soft serve ice cream sundae. They make it themselves. And it's like salty and sweet and fatty. And it's It's got everything. And then they make their own magic shell, like chocolate magic shell. Do you know what that is?
That's like where the chocolate sauce gets hard, right?
Hardens. Yeah. So they cover it with that, and then they take honeycomb candy and they chop it up with a hammer or whatever and sprinkle that on top. It is the best. I think I cried. The first time I had that ice cream, I cried. I
feel like you're working towards getting a free gift certificate from them.
I love him. I love that they're like yummiest. It's the yummiest dessert, in my opinion.
If you're listening in Portland, Maine.
We have good food here. We have really
do.
Yeah. Promo code loose ends.
Yeah. It's a project.
Gotcha. Well, okay. What's the name of that restaurant, by the way? With the ice cream.
With the ice cream, it's called Honey Paw.
Honey Paw.
The Honey Paw. Yeah.
Honey Paw. All right. So are we going to cap this off with any coffee or any nightcaps?
You have to pull me away from the table at this point.
Yeah. I'm done.
Okay.
There's a Spanish coffee in Portland, Oregon. That's really good. But again, I don't know if this place is still existing, where they like light it on fire and everything. Like if you need a little bit of like drama for the end of your night.
All right. So I'll say on fire Spanish coffee. That's where we're gonna bring it to the table, flaming like a baked Alaska.
That's fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Excellent.
That's how they caramelize the sugar around the rim that you're gonna drink it. You're gonna sip it.
Oh, that's so cool. All right. Well, let me read the menu back so that I always like to say I don't want the kitchen to get blamed for my screw up. So let's make sure we got this right. So we're starting with a double IPA and an Arnold Palmer. Right? Excellent.
That sounds delicious.
Then we're going to have appetizer. We're looking at artichoke dip with pita chips. Are those going to be plain? Are we doing garlic? We're doing a variety.
Well, plain. I mean, if it depends. Do you need that pita chip to carry the weight of a not great artichoke dip?
I hope not.
If your artichoke dip's good, you don't need competition from whatever you're going to sprinkle on that.
I like where your head's at. I just like every now and then, like when you're eating, you'll get one chip that's like super crazy garlicky, and it entirely changes, and then you go. So it just feels like constant variety.
Let's go garlic. Garlic, you're never going to be disappointed if you put garlic or more garlic. It's always
no. You got to measure that out with your heart. Garlic is always there.
So
with your heart. Seasoned to taste. All right, then we're going to do a charcuterie, or as we like to call it here, the picky plate. And, just in case, just for the table, in case you're interested, we're going to have some of the cheesesteak dumplings from the dump truck. It feels fun just saying it. So it's worth it right there.
Liked it.
We're also going to do a smoked chicken and avocado salad with a nice fresh made Caesar. We're going to make that table side, by the way. So we want it, full experience.
Yummy.
And then with that, we're going to bring you another double IPA just for good measure.
I'm ready.
We're also going to have a beet salad with a halloumi cheese, maybe some hazelnuts on top, as well as some decoy croutons kind of scattered around just in case.
Just in case you need something, crunch on.
Yeah. And then, oh my gosh, my handwriting's so bad. I think it's a smoked pork soup. Is that what we're getting?
White bean and smoked pork soup from Humma. Humma Oyster Saloon.
All right. I've got it on the list. Next, we're going to be doing a lobster roll. And that's going to be, cooked in brown butter. It's got chives on top. Then we're going to have a king salmon, salt and pepper salmon, as it's often known in these parts. And we're going to go roasted potatoes, broccoli rabe, and
Rob.
I tried to say it with sort of an accent. Broccoli rabe. Broccoli. We're going to do.
I'm very upset that you would say that.
Then we're going to have a nice Mexican street corn as well.
Oh my gosh.
Closing it out on the dessert, we're looking at caramelized honey ice cream, soft serve with the homemade magic shell and honeycomb. We're getting that from Honey Paw. Then we're going to do a bread pudding. What's the perfect bread pudding? You got to describe it because the kitchen can make it all kinds of ways.
think it would have to have raisins in it.
What?
Have to have,
You.
yeah.
This is
I like
over between us.
Raisins can be kind of polarizing. I'm sorry. I like raisins in mine. And it's gonna have a caramel, but not too much caramel. Not like a chunky caramel, like a nice little, kind of like a cinnamon roll, kind of.
Yeah. And ice
And
cream.
maybe
Are you thinking of
bourbon.
vanilla bean, kind of like that route?
Yeah, simple ice cream to
Okay.
complement the brown butter, brown sugar, bourbon yumminess with the raisin.
Absolutely. And then we're gonna bring you a Spanish coffee ablaze.
Yum.
All right. Does that sound good? Did we get it right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Excellent.
Sounds great.
Well, thank you for joining me in the fantasy restaurant today, guys.
Much better than the yesterday's taco that I just warmed up in the microwave. Much better.
Man, I'm gonna put that in our Yelp review.